Welcome back, my friends. Today, we step deeper into the touching love story of Jack and Ly Tu Tien, a journey of love, quiet strength, and a new beginning as they prepare to welcome their first child. If you're following the story of Ly Tu Tien and want to feel every heartbeat of her journey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Now, let's step into their world. The soft glow of dawn filtered through the curtains, casting a warm hue across the quiet room. Just a week had passed since their charity trip to the remote mountain village, a trip that had not only brought smiles to those in need, but also bound Jack and Tu Tien even closer. Now everything felt different. Tu Tien stood in front of the mirror, her delicate hands resting gently over her still flat belly. Though it was early, she could already feel the quiet hum of life growing inside her, a life she and Jack had created together. Her eyes softened, a mix of awe and nervousness flickering in their depths. Behind her, Jack's reflection appeared, his tall frame, closing the space between them. His hands slid around her waist, resting over hers as his chin dipped to her shoulder. "Are you nervous?" he whispered, his voice warm against her ear. She hesitated for a moment before nodding slightly, her voice quiet but steady. "A little. It's not just me anymore, it's us." Jack smiled, pressing a tender kiss to her temple. "Then we'll do it together. Today they'll meet you and our little one." Her heart skipped at his words. There was comfort in the way he said, a silent promise that whatever came, she would never be alone. Later that afternoon, the world outside seemed to bloom under the golden touch of sunlight. The cobblestone path ahead was lined with trees, their leaves whispering secrets to the gentle breeze. Jack walked half a step ahead, his hand clasped firmly around hers, steady, protective. Every so often, his gaze would drift down to her as if to reassure himself that she was really there, that this moment was real. Tu Tien's fingers tightened around his. "Jack," she began softly, her tone laced with uncertainty. "What if they think I'm not good enough for you for this life?" Jack stopped, turning to face her fully. His hand rose, brushing a loose strand of hair from her face, tucking it gently behind her ear. "Look at me," he said, his voice deep but tender. She met his gaze, and for a moment everything else faded. "You are my heart, Tu Tien, and this us, our family, it's everything I've ever wanted." That's all they need to see. Her lips trembled into a small smile, and for the first time that day, the weight of her worry lightened. The late afternoon sun bathed them in its glow, their shadows stretching side by side as they continued toward the cafe. The cafe was alive with its usual warmth, the soft hum of conversation, the clinking of cups, and the rich aroma of freshly brewed coffee that lingered in the air. At a corner table, Jack's closest friends gathered, their laughter bubbling softly as they shared stories. But when the bell above the door chimed, the room shifted. Jack stepped in first, his posture tall and calm, though there was a quiet tension in his eyes. Behind him, Tu Tien followed, her hand resting gently over her belly, as if unconsciously protecting the life within. Her soft smile trembled at the corners, but never faded. The room fell silent. One of Jack's friends blinked, stunned, and finally found his voice. "Wait, is this Tu Tien?" A ripple of whispers spread through the group. A woman near the window leaned toward her friend, her voice tinged with wonder. "I didn't think Jack would ever bring her here. Not like this." Tu Tien's cheeks warmed. She dipped her head slightly, her voice soft but clear. "Hello. It's so nice to finally meet you all." For a breathless moment, no one spoke. The weight of unfamiliar eyes pressed down on her, and her fingers instinctively curled tighter around Jack's. Feeling her tremor, Jack gave her hand a gentle squeeze, a silent "I'm here." The tension broke slowly, like ice thawing under the first warmth of spring. Smiles, tentative at first, began to bloom around the table. One of the men leaned forward, his eyes curious but kind. "So, how did you two meet?" Tu Tien hesitated, searching for the right words, before letting out a quiet laugh. "It was unexpected," she admitted, "but from that moment I knew my life would never be the same. And now I just feel lucky." Nods of understanding followed, soft smiles lighting the room. Then came the teasing voice of another friend, his grin mischievous. "Jack, he's a handful, you know. You sure you can handle him, especially now?" Laughter erupted around the table. Tu Tien flushed, stealing a shy glance at Jack before speaking softly but firmly. "Yes, he can be a little childish sometimes. But maybe that's what makes life with him so bright. With him, even the hardest days feel lighter." The laughter softened into silence when another friend, the quiet, serious one, finally spoke. His voice was calm, but his eyes held a sharp, searching gaze. "Not everyone is ready for a life with Jack. And now you're building a family together." The words lingered in the air, heavy and unspoken. Tu Tien's breath caught, and for a moment her hand faltered. But before the doubt could settle, Jack's hand found hers firm and steady. He leaned forward, his eyes unwavering as they swept the table. "She's my choice, my partner, my family, and I wouldn't trade this or her for anything." His words carried through the room, strong and unshakable, a quiet shield around the woman beside him. Tu Tien felt the sting of tears in her eyes, but this time they weren't born of fear, only of love deep and certain. Then, like the breaking of a long-held silence, laughter bubbled up again, this time from the very friend who had spoken moments ago. "I just wanted to make sure," he said with a grin. "Make sure you'd stand by her. And that she'd stand by you." Cheers erupted, glasses clinking as the group welcomed her with warmth and unfiltered joy. The tension melted completely, replaced by easy conversation, teasing remarks, and bursts of laughter that filled the cafe with light. Tu Tien, cheeks flushed but smiling brightly, began to feel the quiet truth of it. This circle was no longer unfamiliar. Jack caught her gaze from across the table, his eyes soft with pride and a happiness that words could never fully hold. As the evening drew to a close, Jack stood, his fingers intertwined with hers, his voice deep but gentle. "Thank you for always being here. Today we welcome not just Tu Tien, but the little one we'll be meeting soon. From this moment on, we're a family." Applause filled the room, blending with the hum of music and the soft clinking of cups. Tears shimmered in Tu Tien's eyes as she bowed her head, slightly overwhelmed by the acceptance and love radiating around her. For the first time, she understood she wasn't just loved by Jack. She was surrounded, protected by something bigger than herself. A family that would stand by them through every joy, every storm.
Trước mặt phủ đầy bóng cây, lá khẽ xào xạc theo làn gió dịu dàng. Sách chậm rãi phía trước nửa bước, bàn tay nắm chặt lấy tay cô, vững chãi và che chở. Đôi khi ánh mắt anh khẽ liếc xuống, như để chắc rằng cô thật sự đang ở đó, như thể muốn khắc sâu khoảnh khắc này trong tâm trí. Ngón tay Tu Tien vô thức siết chặt lấy tay anh. "Sách", giọng cô khẽ khàng, ẩn chứa chút bất an. "Nếu họ nghĩ em không xứng đáng với anh hay với cuộc sống này thì sao?" Sách dừng lại, xoay người đối diện cô, bàn tay khẽ gạt lọn tóc lòa xòa trước trán, nhẹ nhàng vuốt nó ra sau tai cô.